Yeah. Let's have a hand for Robin Hitchcock, folks. Yeah, all right. Go out and pick that record up at your favorite record store, and well worth hearing. Apparently, Robin Hitchcock will be producing the next REM album, and can't wait to see what the results of that are going to be. Almost 11:30. We got a minute to kill, so we'll break for this announcement. Once again, that is Joan Armatrading at the Fine Arts Center Thursday, April 18th at 8 p.m. In the studio with us, we have Rapture of the Deep. Let's check the mic here, see if it's working. Say hi.
Hi.
No, it's not working. Well, let's try this then. Try it again.
Hi.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Rapture of the Deep, where do you hail from?
Northampton.
Wherever it hails.
That's right. Well, it's not hailing tonight. But they managed to come down here anyway and pop in and say hi, Jim. And
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim. How's it going?
Pretty good. How's it going with you?
Oh, okay.
All right.
This is great.
These guys are a band, and you may have seen them. They play frequently at Sheehan's, and they've also played in some venues in Boston, such as what?
The Rat.
The Rat. The Channel.
Jumpin' Jack Flashes.
Jumpin' Jack.
Storyville.
Right.
Spit.
Not in the studio, please. Have you opened for people, or have you headlined any shows yet?
We're headlining this Friday at Sheehan's. Hey, what a great opening that was.
Home of the famous odometer. What is it? The dB meter.
DB.
Doesn't bother us.
The one that goes no.
We're not afraid of any dB meter.
These guys are fearless. Rapture of the Deep. We've got 3 songs here, and we're going to talk to the gang a little bit later, but we're going to hear some of their music, which is, after all, what they are creating and what will speak best for them, probably, although that's not to say they don't speak for themselves very well. And this is a song called
Magic Wheel.
Magic Wheel. And without further doo-doo, here we go.
She banks on her career just to far
Rapture of the Deep from Northampton, and a song called
Magic Wheel.
Thank you. I forgot what it was called. Maybe everybody will know what that song is as soon as it's put on the new album, or is it just a single that's coming out? You do have a piece of vinyl with your music on it coming out, do you not?
Yeah, it's going to be probably a 4 or 5 song EP.
EP, extended play, for those of you who are just peons in the world of music. And that will mean how many songs?
About 4 or 5.
4 or 5 songs, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that might be one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be on it.
Yeah.
All right.
All 3 of these songs are probably going to be on it, and maybe 1 or 2 more.
I see. How would you describe your music? I mean, what did you grow up on, and what made you want to pick up your instruments and play this stuff right here? Come on.
The Cure,
you can answer this. The Cure?
definitely,
Okay.
yeah.
That didn't sound like The Cure, really.
Well, I try.
Okay. Anybody else out there wants to put in their 2
Hardcore
bits?
and blues.
Hardcore and blues. That's Mike Taskey there, who's the guitarist, correct? The rhythm guitarist, or you lead? Lead. And Dave now, since he is rhythm guitarist, can focus more on his vocal abilities. Is this not the
I'm doing less
the
singing,
reason?
actually.
You are? Really?
Yeah.
But you do write most of the songs.
No, we'd write them as a band, actually. These 3 songs, well, the second one I mostly wrote, but the other 2 were written as a band.
I see.
We just got together and played. We've written about 5 songs in the last 2 weeks that were written as a band.
Huh. And this tape was recorded out at Chris Dixon's.
The inimitable Chris Dixon.
Inimitable.
Yeah.
I recorded this Monday, mixed tonight.
And we mixed it tonight, and we just left there, so we want to say hi to Chris out
Hi,
there.
Chris.
So this is like
He's listening.
this tape is still smoking from
Yeah.
from Chris's
Board
board.
from here.
Well, it sure
Never
sounds
heard
like it.
before.
All right. Well, I hate to delve into the past, but for those of you who've been around Amherst for a while, you may remember Dave Wildman from his old band,
Oh,
Casper Hauser. I'm sorry. Should I not go into this?
Don't go into it.
Okay. But I
That's
should
good.
say that Dave isn't Casper Hauser, and there still are copies of that record available for sale at Main Street Records, believe it or not, because they've been there ever since it came out. But
That's not true.
that's not. No, well, we have 2 or 3 left. We're going to hear
I've
another...
got 55 of them.
That's all right. But when is this record supposed to be coming out that you're putting out?
Well, we're going in the studio
About a month.
in about a month.
Which studio? Not Chris's again.
No. This is going to be produced in Boston, done in Boston, produced by David Minahan
Of the Neighborhoods.
of the Neighborhoods, possibly on the Throbbing Lobster label.
Well, as soon as this interview's over, just coincidentally, we're going to be playing something from the Throbbing Lobster label, Scruffy the Cat from Boston. So, isn't life just a big mystery?
Definitely.
Okay, what's this next song we're going to be hearing?
Okay, what is this next song?
The next
Alley
song,
Man.
yeah, Alley Man.
Alley Man?
The next song.
Okay. And without further doo-doo, we use that same introduction again. This is Alley Man by Rapture of the Deep. Coming up soon. Oh, here we go.
Moving away from the coast, a figure disease planting rose. Snow melts away from the soul, touched only once by the boat. And I saw you in the street light, and I knew you'd put up no fight. They came in a swarm, they came for the warmth, and they came into the breath there, and they caught in the smoky air, and they hid from the neon fair, back to the cold. Skyscrapers move And they cut you with a dull knife and bled, but held to your life. It isn't a dream. You popped up a scream, and the masses walk up from there, and the wind cut your face to bare, and it hurts to breathe in the air. Back to the cold.
The alley man,
Back to the cold.
the alley man,
Back to the cold.
the alley man.
Back to the cold.
Hi, this is Mitch Easter from Let's Active. You're listening to Terpsichorean Cacophony with your host, James Neill, on WMUA 91.1 FM in Amherst.
Skinnerd, man. Tonight it's Rapture of the Deep, man, and they're here in the studio, and we've been chatting with them. If you just tuned in, Rapture of the Deep are from Northampton. They're a four-piece band. Miss Priss on...
Five-piece, actually.
Five-piece?
The drummer isn't here.
One of your pieces isn't here. Which piece is that?
The drummer.
The drummer. What's his or her name?
Craig Nesky.
Craig Nesky. And, well, we haven't gone through your names yet. Do we want to do this for...
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, why
Okay,
not?
you first. The one who's been singing on these songs, who are you?
Yes, you might recognize my voice over the air, Miss Priss.
From long ago, the Miss Prishu on MUA. And she was on Wednesday nights at one time. And here she is on again Wednesday night, but just temporarily. And she's on her way to fame and fortune with Rapture of the Deep. Who else is in the band? Step up to the microphone there, Mr. Tasky.
I'm Mike Tasky, and I play the great guitar on these songs here.
Okay.
One of the great guitars.
One of the great, and the other one belongs to...
I play the clean one, and the keyboards,
You're-
Dave.
Dave. That's Dave. The man is wild. Who are you? I'm sorry, I drowned you out.
Dave, too.
Dave number 2.
Yeah.
Or is
Dave,
that...
Junior.
Also.
Dave
Just call him
Rodriguez.
Junior.
Dave what?
Rodriguez?
Dave Rodriguez. Okay. I knew you reminded me of something. Dave 2. And that's the band Rapture of the Deep. How'd you come up with your name? Is that a stupid question? Or?
We saw it in an Elvis Presley movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's someone was talking about Presley or something and going, what's the matter with that guy? He's got Rapture of the Deep or something? You know,
And-
it means the bends.
Presley movie.
And you were born on that fateful day, that Sunday afternoon at the
Dropped
movies.
Baby right on the floor, right there. Disgusting.
Okay, well, we'll plug your Sheehan's gig again. When's that coming up? Friday?
This Friday.
This Friday, and
Don't go to Florida.
really, what do
You don't need a tan. I'll give you skin cancer. Go to Sheehan's, have a
with
beer.
Slang Syndrome and Toast.
And Toast.
Toast? No, wait a minute. Is there a band from around here that I haven't heard of? Toast?
Yeah, well, it's part of Square One.
Is it?
Well, part of Square One is them. Jim Weeks on drums.
I see. Have you guys heard of a band around here called Juicy Fruit?
No.
Really? That was just a rumor, I guess. Someone told me there was a band called Juicy Fruit.
Okay.
We'll have to watch The
Pulling
Advocate.
your leg.
What a great name for a band, though. Juicy Fruit. I can't think of a better name for a band. Except
remember that.
Rapture of the Deep, of course. All right.
Unforgettable.
We have some more music by Rapture of the Deep, but we don't want to cut them off. If there's anything else you guys want to say in your favor before we cut you off here.
Yes, we're also going to be...
Don't talk into your knee, David. Talk into the microphone.
Are we talking to your knee?
You should see the pants this guy's wearing. I can see my reflection in them.
You should see this guy's hair. We're going to be playing this Saturday at the Zone, too, with
So
Skin.
all the people who can't get into Sheehan's come early to the Zone.
Is that an all-ages show?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can be 4 years old and you can go, or you can be 42. But there will be no alcohol served, so get messed up beforehand.
Cool place. It's
Okay,
great.
yeah, the Zone is great. It's one of the places around here that has been booking a lot of great bands. Do you guys know about the Liars show coming up at the Rusty Nail?
No.
Wheel of Sneakers is
Yeah.
doing the Liars.
Oh, really?
as well as, I guess, well, they're doing your show too, right, with Skin?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We're also doing some shows in Boston with the Outlets. We're doing sort of like a mini tour with them, which we'll do like 3 or 4 gigs. Can you hear me?
No.
They can hear you.
Okay. Well, it wasn't
Do they want to, is the
anyway.
question? No.
No big deal.
Rephrase the question.
So, as I was saying, we're going to be doing a number of shows in Boston over the next couple of months at the Rat and the Channel and Jumpin' Jack Flash. There's a couple other places with a band called the Outlets, who are apparently pretty big in Boston.
Yeah, they're getting there anyway.
Yeah.
Boston's been putting out some great music lately. It's shocking to see a local scene actually putting out a lot of great music. I mean, the scene in Athens, Georgia, for instance, is a scene that's gotten a lot of attention, but hasn't really offered that much quality. I've noticed. Their scene's about
Not lately.
No, it's just all it's a bunch of hullabaloo. Boston, however, is delivered so many great bands, as evidenced by the Throbbing Lobster compilations, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear some of that stuff later. Hopefully, you guys will end up on one of those. I mean,
Yeah, we're looking at it. We're talking to them, and they're interested.
huh?
So,
Watch
looks
for
pretty good.
the record,
The
and
record-
the video. And
well, that's right. Well, that's another thing.
You going to be on the MTV basement tapes? Do you think?
I believe we'll get into the next
Up against bands like Rail.
How can you beat a band like Rail?
Rail. They got little model railroads in their video, and they smash them with their guitars, and then set everything on fire, and they win.
Is that what they were?
It's this horrible heavy metal band, and they've
just
actually
saw
got a
the-
recording contract now.
I just saw the video that they made when they won.
You wonder if that was the one that they submitted to win.
That's the only one I saw, but it was awful.
Well, it certainly is a statement about the taste of the masses, and it's just certainly it's kind of discouraging, actually. I mean, to actually launch yourself into this world where maybe you won't be able to quit your day jobs and still be doing what you love. But
But you know, a lot of the bands that actually placed in that have gotten something out of it. Like, for instance, Guadalcanal Diary.
well, they're wonderful now. They've transformed. Their first record compares not at all to their new one, which
Yeah.
is just tremendous. It's one of my favorite records to come out this last month.
But they got a heck of a lot of attention just by doing basement tapes.
Were they on that? I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
They didn't win. They just had this thing that they shot in Super 8 out of the window of their car when they were touring
Wow.
the South.
You know, another band, Steve Almos's Beat Rodeo, was on there.
Yeah.
The band that does What's the Matter? We'll be playing that later on tonight, too, as a matter of fact. But, well, it's something anyway. It would be neat to see you guys on national TV. Just a little bit of hometown pride. I feel it right here, I'll tell you.
Everybody wants to do it, but
Yeah.
we're hoping to get a video together. We've got a lot of ideas, and we've got some good connections.
And good looks.
Good looks, too.
Good
Lots
looks.
of good looks.
Very
You
good
guys
looks,
just, you get me going, I tell you. Okay, well,
Come here.
we're going to hear one more song by the band. I'll tell you what, if we have any phone calls in the next 10 minutes, we'll actually put you on the air and you can ask the guys and gals some questions. Otherwise,
Call up from the hill there.
545 FM 91 is the phone number. At midnight, we're going to tell you what station you're listening to. Well, I'll tell you right now. WMUA in Amherst.
Oh, surprise.
And we'll do it again at midnight to keep it legal, and then we're going to be launching into the second 2 hours of this evening's edition of Terpsichorean Cacophony. And then at 2 o'clock, we've got Adam Devereaux and No Dose Radio. He's a budding WMUA DJ. He may be trickling down into the main schedule eventually if he has positive enough audience response, and you're the one that counts after all. What's this last song here, folks?
Okay, well, this is Simple Question
Okay.
by Rapture of the Deep here on WMUA.
Without further ado, here we go.
No more proof.
Through the years, I've been saying goodbye.
Rapture of the Deep. And that's the third and final song we'll be hearing from them tonight. That's one of the songs that may be appearing on their upcoming album, or EP, I'm sorry about that. What was the name of that song again, Sherry?
That was Simple Question.
Simple Question. And nice guitar work in there from Mike Taskey, if I may say so myself. Okay, the phone lines are open, 545-FM91. We're going to wind it up until 12 o'clock. You have 7 minutes to call in. Anything at all that you'd like to ask the band, feel free to call. And, I mean, even if you wouldn't normally call in and ask a band questions, this is WMUA, this is a college radio station, and these people are just like you. They get up in the morning, they decide what they want to have for breakfast. They decide if they want to blow off their classes, maybe. You know, they're not, like Van Halen or something, making Beach Boy covers and sleeping with 13-year-old girls. They're not doing that kind of stuff. They're honest and they're sincere and they've got good aims in life. And we've got a phone caller. If you hold on 1 second, we'll bring you right up. Hello, MUA. Would you like to go on the air? With Rapture of the Deep.
As a matter of fact,
You do?
I won a ticket from MUA to go see them, and they were in Northampton.
You did? Did you enjoy the show?
Oh, I loved them a lot. I think they've got a long ways to go.
They have a long way to go. In other words, they have a long way to go before they're good, or they're...
Oh, no, I think they'll go far.
Oh, okay.
And,
just making sure we got the message clear here.
yeah, I rank them right up with other groups I like a lot, like Salem 66 and Let's Active. And
Those are reasonable comparisons, I'd say.
yeah, and even groups that no longer exist, like OK, and I really love the Anthems, Georgia Sound, but we are talking about local groups.
Yes, we are.
The Deep, huh? You have some live, or you have some music from them that you'd like to play, huh?
Well, we just did. We played 3 songs from the band, as a matter of fact.
That was them. See, I just asked my friend son, would you like to listen to the radio? And, it's kind of funny. I was going to request just about that same kind of music in the last 7 minutes.
Well, as I said earlier, life is this big coincidence, You missed it, though. Did you get to hear any of it at all? Or?
Just at the end, and that's why I tuned into MUA as opposed to our other neighboring stations.
Well, thank you very much. That's what we'd like to do here, is lure people in with our different approach to things.
Well, what were you thinking about doing until the witching hour?
Until the witching hour? Well, I don't know. Is there anything you want to ask the band?
They're there.
Yes, they're standing right here, right now, listening to every word you say.
I want to ask them if they'll still like me, even despite the fact I cut my hair off.
Well, I don't know. Is that a question that has anything to do with their music, or do they know who you are?
Well, they might. We danced together at a Flesh Tones concert, and I certainly did see them at Sheehan's. And
I see.
I'm the young man in the black and white shirt. You remember?
I don't know. The young man in the black and white shirt, did you dance with him at the Flesh Tones concert?
Curtis.
Curtis.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Sherry remembers.
Well, for some strange reason today, I just cut all the hair off.
Huh.
And I'm busily trying to develop into a good new wave style.
Huh. Well, there's no question. He cut all his hair off or something. Anyway, thank you, sir, for calling up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't apologize.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Tell him come out to the Ozarks sometime.
The Ozarks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eureka Springs.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Well, yes, indeed. Was that coming out okay, Bill, over the air?
Yeah, you don't have to talk on the phone. Just talk on the mic.
Well, I couldn't figure out how to punch it up here, so...
I couldn't hear it in here.
Well...
Barely.
You're too deaf. You have your amps up too loud when you're playing, I guess. All right, well, we're coming up like 3 minutes before 12 o'clock. We are going to be wrapping this thing up shortly, so we'll ask a few closing questions here. What are your plans for the future? I mean, are you really serious about this thing? Is there any indication that you might...
Jim, we're very serious about this thing.
So you might be in it for, through hell and high water. In other words, you're willing to stick it out to see what actually happens with it.
I mean, it's not cool in this area to say that you're really serious about your music, but we are.
So we're not cool. So that's okay.
Well, that's probably the coolest thing I've ever heard. No, sometimes people can be kind of chilled out by being too cool, and they kind of lose the whole point of actually being involved in something that they're dedicated to. And it's really good to hear a band that actually is serious about this. Not that a lot of bands are around here aren't serious, but I have noticed that many bands who I speak to are very pretentious and a little bit arrogant and somewhat withdrawn and kind of cocky about what they're doing. And you guys have put up with a lot of criticism, I know. And also, you got a lot of praise. I mean, you've had about, equal amounts of both, I'd say.
Well, we've made major improvements with this version of the band. And
Well, the sound has definitely changed. I've been following you for a long time, and when I saw your first show at Hangar 1, you were very good. But you do sound different. You're a different band now, and this is clear. And I'd say right now the sound you have is much more on the right track. I mean, it was good then, but it's definitely a little bit. I don't know what adjective to use, but I'm really enjoying it quite a bit now, and I hope everybody else is too. Let's try one more phone caller and see what's going on. Hold on 1 second while we pick up the phone here. Hello, MUA. Would you like to go on the air? Okay. Okay, you're on the air.
I was wondering if the band has had any influence from groups in this area.
If the band has had any influence from groups in the area?
Local bands. Like Toast or Square One.
I'd say more of an influence from Slang Syndrome. Mark Sturm of Slang wrote the lyrics to Alley Man. That was the middle song played. And
well, that was a good song.
Thank you.
Thanks. We did also do some work with Jim Weeks before from Square One in the studio. That was a lot of fun, and I think that we were sort of influenced by him in that way.
So, you think that local bands have actually played a part in what you're doing right now? There's a bit of a scene, you might say?
We're trying.
Yeah, really.
I see a lot of different branches to the scene, though, that don't quite agree with each other. So, what do you think?
It's a very strange scene. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely.
Diverse.
Diverse. That's a good word for it.
That's a positive
It's an optimistic word there. Miss Priss comes through with a good way of describing a situation that's kind of awkward to deal with in actual life. Anything else, listener?
Yeah, I was wondering if they had any ideas as to what the local scene needed to establish itself more.
More places to play.
Yeah, more all ages shows. Just more big acts coming in from all over the country, like it used to be in the days
to open up for?
Yeah, in the days when the Rusty Nail actually booked something.
They do occasionally now. You notice though, things have been picking up a little bit lately, thanks to Wheel of Sneakers.
Yeah.
Those guys are putting their necks out.
And Sheehan's has been doing some good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, having PSD at Sheehan's would have been unthinkable
or
3 months
PSD
ago.
at Pearl Street.
Yeah.
Although Pearl Street is very restrained in the acts they book.
We should say we're going to be at Pearl Street.
You are?
Yeah, there's a hunger benefit Sunday, April 14th, with us and
PSD and a band from Boston called Red.
There's going to be no food served, or how's this work? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I missed the point of that, I guess. Okay, well, this is going to be like the Northampton version of the Band-Aid movement, I guess. Okay.
Every town will have one.
Yes, indeed. One in every home. Well, thank you very much for calling up. Anything else you want to say before we hang up on you?
Yeah, I just had one more question.
Okay.
This is kind of a group effort. We were wondering what the band thought of the so-called new wave groups that Mike Densmore is bringing in and nobody's showing up for.
Well, I couldn't hear.
She wanted to know what you guys think about the fact that that Wheel of Sneakers is bringing in a lot of quote unquote new wave acts and no one is coming to see them. I can sort of amend that question to say, do you think there's a problem with there not being enough people in the area that are?
Well, not everyone can get to Springfield, and
well, not just Springfield, but the Nail too. Those guys have been booking shows out there, so.
Yeah, and still, that can do well, but it's still not a place readily in access to everybody, really.
Sure.
And that's what we really need. We need another club like
Hangar One.
Hangar One.
Someone should buy the place, and
there.
Apparently there's a tax problem or something, and there's whoever buys it's going to have a lot of tax obligations that they're going to have to pick up before they can open the club again. But that place was nice because it was it was right there on Route 9. It was really handy. I personally think the reason no one's coming to these shows is it's either foggy or snowing like hell on the nights when they have shows at the Rusty Nail. Yeah. And it's just bad. It's bad luck. Mostly, I've noticed. I mean, there's been nothing wrong with the shows they've been booking in most cases.
The Flesh Tones was great.
It was fine. That was a great show, but even with as many people as were there, it wasn't. enough to make money, apparently,
Yeah.
and that they can't keep doing shows unless they get more people coming out there. So
There's a stigma attached to the Nail at this point.
yeah, something weird is going on out there. I can't figure out what it is. Western Mass is obviously not the best place to be. I mean, most people want to get out of here, but we're living here, so we got to make the best of it.
Not necessarily. I mean, Pearl Street could actually be pretty cool, and maybe eventually.
You know, apparently the ownership is more conservative than
Yeah.
was originally expected. So we're seeing BBK. Well, they have a lot of like.
Well, Los Lobos is going to be there.
That's true. Also, I've heard rumors. Well, I can't say this. I'm sorry. Sorry to tease you there. Some good quote-unquote new wave bands may be coming into Pearl Street yet. So, all right, we have another caller. I'm sorry to let you go here, caller on 9-1.
Well, Jim,
Yes.
I just wanted to tell you that I like your hairdo.
Well, thank you. Okay, our next caller. Punch it up. Hello, you were on the air. This is John from Westfield.
Hi, Jim. I like your haircut, too.
Well, thank you, John.
And I'd like to know how I would go about getting a date with Dave or Miss Priss or...
Now. Ask us musical questions, John, not sexual questions.
Musical questions?
Yes.
Who is the former drummer for the Beatles who's not playing with them anymore?
Stuart Sutcliffe.
Pete Best, too.
Pete Best.
Hey, you're all right.
All right. Well, who is Stuart
He's an
Sutcliffe?
insurance salesman
Stu
now.
Sutcliffe, yeah, he was a drummer, too, wasn't he?
I guess so. Well, I can't remember who he was. I think he was with the Beatles, too.
No, he's in...
Stu Sutcliffe?
I think he's...
He's their first bass player. He died.
Oh, that's right. That's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, he was kicked in the head in a brawl, and he died about a year later. He got a tumor from it.
Dear me. John.
What?
Do you have any reason for calling the station and going on the air?
Yeah, John.
Do you just want to talk about your
promotion?
You want to promote PSD, don't you?
Have you been to the store to see what's going on there with your record, John? This is obscene.
No.
There are no Phil Collins records in the front rack. The entire front rack is filled with Pajama Slave Dancers records.
No, I think we should re-release the Casper Hauser records. Oh, Dave's cringing.
Anyone
now,
who
I
wants
can
them
see.
can have them.
Bury the cat.
Really?
It's a little bit after 12 o'clock. We missed our legal ID. This is WMUA Amherst. Okay, back to the phone call. John, anything else you want to chat about before?
Yeah, what about this thing about wheelless sneakers? What do you think? What do you guys think about that? I mean, I hear you guys talking about it. And
What do you think
wonder
about it,
why
John?
no people are going and stuff.
Well, certain people are going, but it's the same people every time, I notice.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's the same crew of people. And
So do you think we could branch out and, like, suck people into our little web here,
I
or
think
what?
Sheehan's, like Dave was saying before, Sheehan's has got a lot of potential. As a club, like, it's not going to be, it's obvious we're not going to have a Hangar 1 or a Rahars anymore.
Well, it's too small, and the columns get in the way, too. Like, if you're 50% of the crowd there is stuck behind those damn cement posts and you can't see a darn thing.
Yeah, but there are places in Boston like that, like Cantones, too, which is, or the Rat in Boston, which are
Right.
on the same level.
Same situation.
Much bigger
A
than
lot of bands coming in. We tried to get Scruffy the Cat to come in a couple weeks, but I guess they want too much money or something. I don't
Really?
know.
Yeah, they're getting to be
They're
the
big news.
the NBT, the next big thing in Boston.
But
So
Dave, I've seen Flang Syndrome at Sheehan's. I've seen Dave's band at Sheehan's, and they seem to be opening up. It's not like they're having, I don't know, the old dinosaur bands. Not like I'm going to name any bands or anything, but
No.
it used to be, Tom Jones acoustic badass, freight train band from. Someone's laughing on that one.
who
huh?
fat?
Yeah, okay. So I mean, Peterbilt or something, and they'd be there every weekend. But now it seems to be opening up. Like, you have Eighth Route Army there, and Rapture, the Deep, Flang Syndrome, and
Pajama Slave Dancers.
yeah, those scummy guys.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
Who?
I mean,
I've
it seems
never
to be
heard
opening
of
up a little more. Pearl Street. What do you think of that?
I think that it's starting to get a little bit more. It's starting to loosen up a bit.
Yeah, I feel stupid about what I said in the Advocate, but it's still
Well,
true.
I
mean,
thought
Phoebe
you sounded
Snow,
pretty
you know?
stupid.
Phoebe
Now-
Snow and Johnny Winter.
What about
the
Leon
Outlaws?
Russell? They're bringing in all these senior citizens now. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean these are guys that my father has records from the early '70s. Leon Russell. I mean, some of these people you wonder why they're actually still out on the road. What happens to an aging rock star? They
all turn
go
into
to Pearl Street.
Yeah, it's like Buddy Hackett. They're not funny anymore. They turn
Really?
into Pete Fountain. Have you ever heard of Pete Fountain?
Pete
Guy
Fountain.
plays.
No.
Have
He's on the
Pearl
Carson
Street
show every
sent to
once
the
in a blue moon.
Catskills.
Huh.
But I don't know. Pearl Street should open up. I guess Wednesdays. They're trying to open up Wednesdays to live music.
Yeah.
Really?
I've been talking to John. Yeah, I've been talking to John Allen, and supposedly Wednesdays are going to be opened up to more new live music.
Yeah, they're
They're
starting to
really
take some
local
chances.
That would be great. Another club around here that's been taking some chances is Jordy at the Iron Horse has been booking some good stuff lately.
Yeah, great.
Well, I've enjoyed a lot of the shows he's put on, John. To be quite honest, John Cale, Jonathan Richman, Richard Hell, his New Wave Cafe series, as he calls it.
Yeah, actually, that's not that bad.
No, it wasn't. I mean, the Iron Horse is a great place. I mean, that's not exactly along the lines of the stuff that we're talking about. It's more jazz and folk and stuff, but he's still. I mean, he came in today to ask me about Husker Du. I mean, he's barking up the right tree now.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we'll see what's happening with that. He will sponsor shows occasionally out at the Rusty Nail and stuff. So.
Yeah, because I spoke to him a long time ago about getting something on like a Monday night acoustic thing, just as not as a joke, but like an open mic thing.
But no way, John.
Yeah, it's pretty. He didn't come across too open-minded then.
Well,
but I guess now things are changing. Like you said, that New Wave Cafe series.
Right.
Pretty good.
Anyway, John, unless you have anything really enlightening to say, we've got Paul from Hadley on the other line, and we're going to...
Hey, all right.
Okay.
Hey, take it away, Paul.
See you later. Paul, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi. What's up?
I just wanted to say that I saw Rapture of the Deep and Slang Syndrome the last time they were at Sheehan's Cafe, and I thought they were great. And anyone who's listening, I think that you should go this Friday because it's going to be a very good show. And
All right. This Friday.
That man who had his hair cut with the black and white shirt,
Yes?
I'm kind of glad he got it cut because, you know, when he was dancing, doing those gyrations and those
Oh, no.
things, his hair
Now,
just...
look, before you go on, let me clear something up. The haircut being referred to here is not the one that's on my head, okay? That was another... That was
there's
a
no hair
separate,
left on his head.
Separate incident, okay? This is somebody who called earlier who has since gotten his haircut. I also have since gotten my haircut, but I did not see Rapture the Deep at Sheehan's. Nor was I gyrating my hips.
GMC or something.
Rapping, man. No, well,
Not
thank
even
you
a real
very
band.
much for your call. We were hoping, there was a pause there when you said...
I am also the brother of the infamous bassist in this band. And
Oh, no, you shouldn't have said that.
and no, I'm not calling because of that.
Well, you've just given away any credibility you had as an objective fan, so...
Well, I'll call back and be someone else.
I'm sorry. We're 10 after 12 here. We're going to have to cut you off, as they do at bars sometimes, but this is a different situation. Thanks for calling up.
well,
See you later, Paul.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. That's about going to do it. We've gone a little bit over here, but that's because we got into an involved discussion about the scene here, which we're all concerned about in some way or another. Anything else you guys want to say before you head off into the wild blue yonder? What's the weather like out there?
Nice.
Is it nice?
It's nice, about 40 degrees.
Really? Approaching spring ever so rapidly. It might as well be spring as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Well, thanks for coming down, and thanks for bringing your tape. And don't forget it when you go. Here you go. Here's your Maxell UDXL2. Sounding good. Okay, gang. We're going to hear some music now from Salem 66 on Homestead Records. This is Across the Sea.